Welcome, welcome, boys. I'm going to apologize in advance for all this wind noise we're going to get because it's like 50 degrees out with like hurricane force winds. Feels like it's, I don't know, 30. But she's cold, boys. Beginning of October, cold AF. Alright, so in this video we're going to be changing the coolant. We're not going to completely flush it, we're just going to do a drain and fill. The coolant was changed almost 3 years ago, originally, after I first bought the car and the expansion tank exploded and I leaked a bunch of coolant out. And I didn't record the replacement of that because it was kind of an impromptu, well, I need to replace my expansion tank quickly and refill it with coolant ASAP so I can drive this beast, because I was really getting into daily driving it. Now it's been 3 years and we have time on our side. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to drain and fill. And master debating on if I should lift this car. I don't think I'm going to need to, though. I think there's enough ground clearance for me to just slither underneath of it and undo the petcock and drain the coolant. So let's see if I can do that for you, shall we? Okay, boys, so I already pulled this off. Still have the correct level, which I like to be either just flush with this or slightly below, never above. You'll blow your expansion tank up. Ask me how I know about that. And I tested the antifreeze concentrate level. We had one floating ball, which means it's good to, was that negative 20 degrees? Negative 25 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's good. Now, after master debating about it, I've come to the conclusion the easiest way to drain this thing is going to be just pull the little radiator hose. So they have these quick disconnect hoses. That's BMW is kind of known for. So at the very top of that, oh, focus down there, thank you. Very top of that hose, there's this metal spring ring thing that you may or may not be able to see. Well, I can't really get the camera in anymore, but it's on there. You can kind of see it, I think. You can see where those two striped lines are going up, and they kind of get a little bit of an interrupt. That is a ring. That's a little bit higher than the plastical part. So I need to get in there with a pick, lift it up, and then just go underneath, and then yank the hose loose, and then once all that coolant comes gushing out, we'll be on our way. So that's the game plan. Okay, and using these dudes, I was able to get down there. Now you can see that little metal ring clip dude lifted. So now we can go underneath, wiggle that hose free, and then see all that glorious green goodness. Okay. This is gonna be fucking messy, I'm sure. And that's if this thing even comes off easily. I'm willing to wager it's not going to. It's gonna take some finagling. Probably gonna get a goddamn mouthful of antifreeze, but try not to. Well, that's really on there. Sure it's going to be just as fun getting back on, too, if it's anything like that e38 cooling system I did. Well, I don't know why I didn't put a damn petcock on here. The e38 has one, not the e38, though. Not one I can see, anyway. Ugh. Ugh, fucking shit, son. You know, people would probably change this shit more frequently. They could fucking get to it more easily. Ugh. I almost wonder if I should get a big ass screwdriver in there and kind of get some leverage to move this damn hose out of the way. I might do that. Alright, fucker. Now I got all the fucking room to reach your ass. Bitch. Hot. I'm gonna try getting from the top. Just pulling the airbox off. That was a no-go. Maybe I can push it if I get some leverage here. Push as hard as I can. Let's try. One hand makes this kind of a bitch. Yeah, this is easier said than done. Come on, you cocksucker. God damn it! Ass. Oh my god. Die. You fucking hose. Whose fucking dumbass idea was this? Damn engineers. Fucking asshats. Okay. Well, shit. Pull the one off the expansion tank to get some of the coolant, but that's not really good enough, in my opinion. I don't know, boys. I don't know. Okay, boys, plan B. So I tried my damnedest. I even pulled the airbox off to get as much leverage as I could. That fucker ain't coming out. So I just went ahead and pushed the clip back down so it's secure. Not as if it wasn't secure before, since I couldn't even get the damn thing out. And we're just going to go ahead and loosen this clamp right here. And just pull this hose off and just drain whatever's in the reservoir and whatever comes from the top of the engine out this hose. So, not the proper way to do it, but I can't get it out any other way because that fucking hose is as seized on as E38 was. And there ain't a petcock anywhere like there is on the E38. So, you gotta do what you gotta do. Improvision is what I am an expert in. Yeah, you look like you're going to come off much more easily. Make a mess, but what you going to do? It must be done. Alright, we'll let that do its thing and be back in a bit, I reckon. Okay, and we've gotten about as much as we're going to get out. It's a pretty healthy amount because this shit's almost full and it's just dribbling at this point. So I'll go ahead and clamp the hose back on. Put this in our empty thing. I guess I'll have to need two of them. We'll see how much we got. I have 2 gallons of coolant I just purchased. Well, 1 gallon of concentrate and 1 gallon of distilled water. So we'll combine that for 2 gallons of coolant. But first we're going to measure this and put back exactly, that way we know exactly how much we need to add. And then I do have an already pre-mixed 50-50 that I keep in the trunk, just in case of emergencies. So if we need to, we can top it off with that. Okay, boys, so we recovered our coolant, and it's roughly 1.5 gallons that we got out of it. So I'll be able to put 1.5 gallons back in. I'll have a ½ gallon of 50-50 mix on standby. I reckon if I would have been able to get the lower radiator hose, probably would have gotten the full 2 gallons, maybe more, because I still have an almost full gallon of 50-50 mix that I keep in the trunk for emergencies. So now we'll have 1 gallon and some change for full-blown emergencies, I guess. Alright, 1.5 gallons. And since we had 4 floating balls before, we can go slightly more coolant if we absolutely have to. So there is room for that kind of margin of error. We'll do roughly 75% coolant and then 75% water. Then that'll give us half gallon left over, since we believe that's what we're going to end up with. That is full, boys. This is plastic, by the way, so you'll note I made a paint mark, so that way I don't over tighten this bleed valve and crack it, break it on my expansion tank. I believe that's good. Alright, let's see how much I have left by combining this water with my coolant. And if we have roughly half a gallon, we're 100% full and all the air is bled out. Well, less than half gallon. I'd say that's right, because that's a little over full, since that red thingy's popped out, so we'll just suck some of that out. And then, that's it, boom, done. Okay, boys, and as you can see, she's just a little above completely flush. And it is wintertime, mostly, almost. So, I'm actually fine with that. Normally I wouldn't be if it was hot out in summertime. I'd want it a little lower, but I think that'll be okay. It should. It's not like it's going to cause a big catastrophic failure of any sort. There's still room for the coolant to expand. And it'll be cold out, so it shouldn't expand that much. So there you have it, boys. That's how you change your coolant in your BMW e38, sort of. That's still a pretty healthy amount. That's about, what, 6 quarts? I think the cooling system, I can't remember if this car holds 12 and my Crown Vic holds 14, or if this holds 14, my Crown Vic holds 16. But I know the Crown Vic holds 2 quarts more than this BMW does. So if this only holds 12 quarts, then we've gotten half of it out. If it holds 14 quarts, we got slightly less than half. But, I mean, that should do her. It's only been in there 3 years. And I'd be willing to say, if this coolant, the long life stuff's supposed to be good for 5 years, if you just drain and fill, I think you'll be fine. Drain and fill every 3 years, and you can get away with not having to completely flush it, because that's a bitch. Getting that lower radiator hose, impossible, or as impossible as it's going to be for me, because I got 3 videos to film today. So first one down, it'll be out when it's out, and then you'll see the other 2 whenever the hell they come out. So thanks for watching, boys. Peace.